There are several years that are about the same around this '07 model. Basically, you take out these two nuts here. They're 10 millimeters. You should only need a nut driver to do that. If you have trouble prying this light out, there's some little friction keepers in there. Get you a cloth, a cotton cloth, and put it over something kind of like a thin flat bar or screwdriver. Be very careful on these corners here. It's thin plastic, it can break, and also don't tear up your paint. But you can put something in here and then wiggle back and forth as you press something in. Now this one's already been out, so that made it look a little easier than it really is. They can get pretty difficult if you haven't had them out in years. Then just down near the bottom, do the same thing. Wiggle it back and forth as you work your pry bar in there. And you can just pull straight out here. And then I just have the tail light turned around backwards here. This bulb up at the top is the one that's used for your flashers and your turn signal. This bulb here in the middle is the brake light and I believe the parking light. And then this little bulb down here at the bottom is the one that's used for your reverse or backup lights. So now I've turned the lens on its side, and this is the bulb that was at the top. So this is the one that's used for your flashers and your turn signal. You just grab the socket, turn it counterclockwise, pull it out. To get this type of bulb out, you just grab it and work it back and forth gently as you're pulling straight up. So this is the bulb that came out. This is a 3156, so assuming that somebody had the right bulb in here, all I'm doing is putting the old bulb back in because it's not burned out or anything. But it just slides down in this socket. Now, if you're putting in an old bulb, it's a good idea to use a cotton cloth and maybe a little bit of alcohol. You can wipe all the dust and crud off of it, fingerprints or whatever. That keeps the bulb working cool and nice and bright, so that it'll last longer if it stays cool. And of course your taillights will be a little bit brighter if you get all the dust off of it. If you look at the socket closely, you can see there are some tabs sticking out here. So you have to line these up inside this hole. Hopefully you paid attention to where the wires were coming out when you took it out. It makes it a little easier. I noticed that these were kind of lined up with this, what appears to be a vent hole. So you just put it in and turn it clockwise, and that'll lock it into place. Right here is one of those two retainers. This is the one at the top. There's another one at the bottom. I'll show you what plugs into there. If you put just a little bit of lubricant in this hole or on the post before you put it in, it'll be a lot easier the next time you have to take this tail light out. So this is one of the two posts that goes back into that retainer I was showing you. I'm putting a little bit of a lubricant on here. This is just a little bit of a silicone, non-hardening silicone grease. And I'm going to put this on both of these little posts so that this lens will come back out easier if I need to take it back out. This is the upper plastic insert where this bolt went, and these are, like I said, these are like a plastic nylon material, so when you put these back in, don't over torque them, be gentle with it or you'll strip this out. Same goes for the bolt at the bottom. So it's a good idea before you actually put the lens in place. I just have it setting in place, and so I'm checking here. Looks like my flashers are working fine, which is the same as my turn signal. Here's my parking light, and I'm fixing to go put the transmission in reverse to check my reverse light, and I'm also going to put my foot on the brake to check the brake light. Alright, so everything checked out good. So now all I got to do is line those posts up and press it in until it locks in place. Now I can put in my 2 bolts that I took out. Once again, these are just 10 millimeter. Just be careful not to over torque them. I want to line them both up first. Make sure you can get them started. Just be gentle. They don't really tighten down very much at all. Feels like somebody's already stripped that one possibly. And that's it.